The dwarves once maintained an underground empire that spanned from Wulfgar to Lar, its massive cities connected by hundreds of miles of carefully hewn tunnels. At its heart was Windholm, the blaze of its forges and the pounding of its hammers giving birth to the greatest dwarvian crafts on Io. Today, the empire is no more, but like the mountains above it, the capital city remains, a living monument to glory long gone.
Dust and stones. What happened here?
That's a lot of corpses.
But Malik wasn't... No matter. We need to find Arrakis. Go. Dust and stones.
Rebellions are bloody.
Here we go.
Beardless scum! You're going to pay!
Forever.
Get ready.
So it must be.
At once.
Prepare to fight.
Your graves are called.
Of course.
That's a civilian.
Let's push on.
Do this.
That statue looks like a meteor struck it. How did Malik do it?
Torval, a former Earthshaper of the Bastion.
Any idea what's going to happen with all that moon silver?
We were going to use it to repair the damage done by Arrakis, though Malik's men were supposed to protect it from looters. Stones. Malik, where are you?
Really?
We've got dwarves.
Sure. Make
No
the
sign of Malik.
He's probably in the castle. Stones, what went wrong here? This is a massacre.
Things must have gotten out of hand.
But why? No matter. Let's move. To the castle.
All right, I'm going. Lead on then.
Over there. See the beards?
crump.
Gravelly scum. Time's up!
Let's do this.
Take them out!
I'll catch up.
All right, here we are. The Granite Castle. Ready, General? I'm not sure I want to know what's happening in there.
Worried about your brother?
I don't know what I'm worried about. Let's just get this over with, okay? Let's find Arrakis, incarcerate him, and end this mess once and for all.
Okay, let's go in.
As if the castle walls shut out the reality beyond them, an eerie quiet surrounds you inside. No corpses, no fires, no tang of ashes and blood. Only the polished granite tiles and the massive pillars holding up the ceiling and the mountain above it.
You know the way, right?
Stones, look out!
She's with the rebels! Crush them!
All right, here goes nothing.
Consider it done.
Your graves are calling.
They are fools to challenge us.
Run now.
Tiara's breath. That thing was tough.
A guardian golem. They were made to protect, not to harm. The guards must have been desperate to awaken them.
And no sign of your brother.
Aye. Let's find Arrakis.
I'll take a look.
There.
What's he doing?
Let me see.
It's over, Arrakis. Your guards are dead.
It's over, Arrakis. Your guards are dead.
What?
What?
What on Io is this? It's like he's not even aware of us.
Norse claws, of course. The rune.
Rune?
The rune Rondar Lacane used during the Purity Wars, remember? I told you about it. The purity of light used it to control Lady Myra Utran's mind. The way Arrakis is behaving, this catatonia. It's just like how Lady Myra was after Tahar broke the rune's influence on her. High Hierophant Arrakis is under mind control, Erev. He was.
Wait, you mean someone is controlling him? Who?
Circle Mage Iskrim, of course. It has to be Iskrim. He's the only one who knows how to handle the rune. He's the one who has it.
Guardians. You're right.
Hold on. What the stones are you talking about? Mind control, rune? If anybody is controlling Arrakis, then it's the god of light. You heard what?
No, Rara, you don't understand. Iskrim is the dwarf Wraith saw during the ritual. He's the corrupted, not Arrakis. Look, during the Purity Wars, Rondar Lacane used a Shaper runestone to exert mind control over an influential noble in the north, Lady Myra Utran. Jarrus told me the story. Despite the dangers, Circle Mage Iskrim was fascinated by the technology, and he must have continued to research it, without the Queen's permission.
Then... a Circle Mage did this. But... why?
I don't know, but Arrakis must have been a puppet, and all this... the Granite Suns, the monument, Iskrim forced him to do it. We have to...
There's the bastard. Good.
Malik, where were you?
Where do you think? Outside, putting down Arrakis's dogs.
That's a bloodbath out there. Was that really necessary? You were supposed to blow up the monument and then sneak into the castle.
Aye, but things got messy. What do you expect us to do? Fight the guards with candy and pillows? But don't worry, it's almost over. All that's left to do now is put down the bad shepherd and the rest of his lambs.
You want to kill him? That wasn't part of the plan, Malik.
Plans change.
Wait, what do you mean by put down his lambs?
What do you think? Every bootlicker, every stuck-up aristocrat, every pragmatist who stood with this bastard is going to die. We're going to finish what we started outside.
Malik, that's...
That's just what needs to be done, for fuck's sake. That bullshit ideology Arrakis has put into their heads. It's like cancer. If you don't cut out every single bit of the tumor, it always comes back.
Why don't you just throw him into a dungeon?
So that he uses his friends to buy him out the first chance he gets? No, General. Bastards like Arrakis, the rich and the mighty, they always find a way to wriggle themselves out of punishment. You have to cut them down when you have the chance.
Arrakis wasn't in charge of all this. He was under mind control.
Mind control? Huh? Well, that doesn't change the fact that he's got blood on his hands, too. First, we take care of him, and then we find whoever was making the monkey dance.
You're starting to sound just like him.
Oh, get off your high horse, Rara. You're not calling the shots here, not this time. Now, the only reason you came back after you ditched me here was because you wanted to feel good about yourself. And even then, you couldn't wait to jump ship again and run off with that traitor general and his army. You have no fucking idea what it's like down here. Now stand aside and let me finish what we started.
No. We helped you under the assumption that you were gonna help Windhelm, not orchestrate a bloodbath. Arrakis lives, and so will his underlings. In prison.
Don't you dare order me around. Don't you fucking dare! This ends now.
Let's find this Iskrim.
Are you all right, Rhett?
I'm good. Now, where can we find the one who did this? Do you think he's here? In Windhelm?
What about your brother? Do we leave him here?
He's only unconscious and none of his wounds are lethal. We'll find a healer to take care of him. Now again, where's this Circle Mage? Where's Iskrim?
Thoughts, anyone?
The rune only has a very limited range. So, yes, he must be here. He was here all the time.
Hold on. Didn't your brother mention something about an odd dwarf going in and out of the tunnels, Rera?
You mean that was him?
It's a possibility.
Right. Well, then let's find the man. I'd like to have a calm and rational discussion with him.
You were saying?
Even well down into the lower layers of the city, the fighting continues. At least, that's what the din of cries, fires, and clashing axes suggests. Rera leads the way, walking fast, her eyes fixed forward.
Here we are. Let's hope we're right and he hasn't made a run for it yet.
We should try that grave first, remember? The one we found last time we were here?
Good point.
Go ahead.
You got it.
It's not fair. It's just not fair.
Hear that?
Iskrim.
Iria?
We know what you did, Iskrim. You used the rune to orchestrate the rise of the Granite Suns. Arrakis was your puppet.
So the secret's out. I knew it would be eventually.
Stones, why? Why the stones would you do something like this? Do you know how many people you've killed?
Do you know whose grave this is?
How should I know?
It's Gilak Orblades, the founder of the first Blackstone rebels, whose name you borrowed. King Rorik executed him 20 years ago.
I know who Gilak Orblade was. A hero. What does he have to do with you?
He was my husband.
You're... what?
It's true, Rera. I should have told you earlier, but I don't know. It was private.
So, Gilak Orblade was your... what? Your lover?
Is the idea that absurd, Gilak? All he ever wanted to do was good. He didn't fool himself into believing he could save the entire world. Just a touch of good, here and there. That's why he founded the rebels. They weren't even violent to begin with. Just a voice against the injustices that happened under King Rorik's reign. And what did he get in return? Right. The king had him murdered. And when they presented his body to the public, everyone cheered.
I don't follow. King Rorik killed your husband, I understand that. But why on Io would you use the rune to mastermind the rise of another tyrant because of that?
Because I wanted to make them see! I wanted to make these stupid, gullible fools who enable people like Rorik and Arrakis to see how endlessly rotten they really are! And it worked, didn't it? All it took were empty words and hatred, and look at what happened! If we dwarves are really that easy to break, that easy to manipulate, then blood and ashes are all we deserve. Arrakis was a test, and they failed it.
The rebellion succeeded, didn't it? So how did Windholm fail your test?
They failed it the moment they elevated Arrakis into power. Restore Windholm to its former glory. Gravel Eaters, Granite Suns. Empty words. Pandering, sycophancy through and through. How could anyone believe this nonsense? And yet they did. They cheered, they hated, and they killed for it. As for the rebels, I had high hopes for them. But the more powerful they became, the clearer it became to me that they were ultimately no better than Arrakis. Look at the bloodbath up there. They did that. Give a man an axe, and you see his true face.
Malik made them do it. This wasn't what I stood for. This wasn't what any of us stood for.
And yet they obeyed when your brother commanded them to commence the slaughtering. Admit it, Hailstone. It's just in our blood. We dwarves deserve no better.
Why have you released Arrakis now?
Why? Because there's no point anymore. The test is over. And Windholm has failed.
In other words, Arrakis was your puppet from the very start.
For 5 moons. Not from the start. You see, Arrakis was always a hate-monger at heart. That's why I chose him. Preached racial purity. Yet slept with an elf. What he lacked was simply the rhetorics and the charisma to take over. So I used the rune on him, and helped out with that.
So you did all this to prove a point?
Call it what you will. The truth is, had these people not been so foolish, Windwall would still be at peace now, and Gilak would still be alive.
You bloody, arrogant piece of shit! You played God. That's what this was about. Don't you dare pretend it was any different.
I threw a carcass into the arena, Hailstone. The lions tore it apart.
Well, Windholm is in flames and hundreds of dwarves are dead. Are you happy?
Quite the opposite. But it wasn't me. I never had Arrakis order the death of anyone. What happened out there? Those fools did it to themselves. And that includes your brother, Rara Hailstone. He was only waiting for a chance to get his hands bloody.
You know nothing about my brother.
Oh, but I do. I know that you and he resurrected the Blackstone rebels. And at first, I actually even supported you. Does the name Turfa Smeltgrip ring a bell? Your most generous supporter. I planted that idea inside her head.
Wait. You built up the Blackstone rebels?
I supported them. But the more I watched, the more I realized that they were as bad as Arrakis' lackeys. Just in a different uniform. What your brother did out there, Rara Hailstone, only proves my point.
So you caused a civil war just to prove a point? You're mad.
No more mad than the countless dwarves who cheered Arrakis on.
Iskrim, you were also being manipulated. You're one of the corrupted, one of the God of Light's tools.
The God of Light? What are you talking about?
The God of Light is trying to re-enter the world. It's part of an ancient prophecy, Jakku. There are 4 corrupted whose task it is to sow chaos and help with its plan. And you are one of them. You might not have been aware of it, but the God of Light influenced your actions.
What? But... no. This is nonsense. I did this because the dwarves deserved it. We all...
Corrupted or not, I don't give a shit. You have blood on your hands, Circle Mage Iskrim, and you're gonna answer for it. General, I hope you have a spare cell in the Greykeep dungeons. A lightless one with rats.
He'll be tried and punished, yes. Iskrim, promise me that you're not gonna put up a fight. There's been enough bloodshed today.
Do what you want. I did what I had to.
Your Majesty, I'm sorry for the delay. There was something I needed to take care of.
You are excused. We were just discussing the events in Windholm. Iria, you say you noticed nothing strange about Iskrim all this time? I am not blaming you. I simply imagine he must have worked on this plan for quite some time before realizing it.
Well, you know how Iskrim is. When he wasn't abroad on his expeditions, he was in his laboratory researching the rune and how the Shapers used it. He would have had plenty of time to work on this plan of his.
Though that raises the question as to when corruption starts. Kirin, the Empyrean man, also wasn't aware that he was serving Jakku. So was it Sheobded who put these ideas into their heads? Or were they already there, and Sheobded merely twisted them for his own purposes?
Either explanation is unsettling.
Well, unsettling or not, what matters is that we took one more of Sheobded's corrupted out of the equation. Also, High Hierophant Arrakis won't be a problem any longer. You did good work, Rara Hailstone. And so did you, General.
Have you already spoken to Iskrim, Your Majesty?
Not yet. But I plan on doing so very soon.
Provided that he wants to. Ever since we dragged him out of those catacombs, he hasn't said a single word.
I will get him to talk.
Will putting Iskrim in chains really neutralize his influence as a corrupted?
It has to. If he's locked away, how can he advance Jakku? We only need to make certain the locks are safe enough.
Indeed. And even if it were not so, we cannot and will not execute a Circle Mage based on mere conjecture. I am certain you understand.
What will become of Arrakis?
We will leave that up to the Prince to decide. Let us just hope that the rest of Hailstone's rebels are wiser than her brother.
They are. And just so you know, the Blackstone rebels will stick with you until you've done what you must.
Thank you, Hailstone. I appreciate your loyalty.
That only leaves us with the masked woman, doesn't it? We need to find the Temple of Light before they do.
Speaking of which, where's Sir Catras? Wasn't he here when the conclave started?
He was.
I'm right here, Your Majesty. May I present Gilbar Mercal, the archaeologist.
You found him?
In a brothel in Everlight, yes. A lovely chap, he really is.
It wasn't a brothel. It was a bathing house. Now, while I'm humbled to be here, will somebody please tell me what this is about? Why am I here?
You're here because Nortander needs your services. Tell us, Gilbert Mercal, what do you know about the Temple of Light?
The Temple of... Wait. Does that mean you believe me? You believe it exists?
We certainly do. And we have taken an interest in finding it.
Your Majesty, I don't know what to say. This is an honor. I've spent my entire life...
We know you have. And if your research proves to be helpful, I will see you get the recognition you deserve. Now tell us what you know. What is the Temple of Light? And where is it?
Well, where shall I start? First of all, you need to know that Io is a land full of ancient secrets and...
The short version, please.
Fine. You all know about the God of Light, at least since the Purity Wars. It's an interdimensional entity with hostile intentions. What you probably don't know is that Rondar Lacane wasn't the first person to try to bring it into our world. An ancient people did, too. They were the ones who constructed the original gate, a portal devised to let the God of Light into our world. And they kept it in their temple.
The Temple of Light.
Yes. I doubt that was the name these people used, but according to my research, it's somewhere between the Loranian swamplands and Windholm, above the border of the Howling Steppes.
An ancient people? Are you talking about the Shapers?
I know who the Xarlonthep are. And no, I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about a different culture. Well developed at their zenith, but small in number.
When was that?
Well, that's hard to say, really, as they left hardly any traces. The few I found suggest that they lived around the same time the Xarlonthep did, but died before these became a world empire.
I don't get it. I'm no archaeologist, but if this culture was as well developed as you said, how come they left no traces?
That's the conundrum I've been dealing with for a long time. My esteemed colleagues say it is because these people didn't exist. You don't even know what they called themselves, they say. I know they did, though. And the God of Light's existence stands testimony to that. There's one theory I have regarding their disappearance, but I have little evidence to support it.
Which is?
That someone tried to erase them from history. Someone covered their tracks.
Before the Purity Wars, no one even knew the God of Light existed. How is that possible?
An excellent question. At first, I thought the records were simply lost to time. But the patterns were too strong to be ordinary coincidence. I think, at some point or another, Every civilization purged the God of Light from their records. Perhaps they all concluded the knowledge was too dangerous.
Like the Hibernians in Old Hallu. They also knew about the God of Light, but wrote remarkably little about it.
They were one, yes.
The Aliani prophecy Jakku also mentions this gate. What makes it any different from the portal that Lekain tried to open in the Hall of Justice?
Well, I don't know about any Jakku, but Rondar Lekain created a tear, a fracture in the veil that seals itself with time. The gate, on the other hand, cannot be closed once it has been opened. If it helps, picture the tear as a needle-sized hole in a piece of fabric. The gate is the equivalent of ripping the fabric apart.
So that's why the masked woman is looking for the temple. It's where the corrupted end Jakku, after all, by opening the gate.
With the energy of the Horde of Souls. Remember the Purity Wars? Lekain needed the magic of Tahar's mother to open the portal for the God of Light. And as she, the last Shaper, died, they needed another energy source. That's what they siphoned those souls for, to open the gate in the Temple of Light.
I don't follow. Horde of souls? Masked woman? You think somebody's actually trying to open the gate?
Sadly, we don't think we know. Tell me, did someone break into your house last week? Ferreted through your desk, perchance?
You mean... Oh, Guardians, this is terrible. I don't know what to say.
Do you think they've located it already? Or are you missing, I don't know, a map or something?
Now that you mention it, yes. I've been wondering where that notebook went.
Then we have no time to lose. We will make for Windholm and...
Wait!
Kaiawu?
Sir Merkel, you are wrong. The temple isn't near the steps. It's in the steps. It's next to our village.
I'm sorry, boy. Who are you?
Those ancient people you were talking about, they are our ancestors. We were once 4 tribes, and the chieftains introduced Sheogded as a god to worship. They wanted to open the gate, but a group of us rebelled and stopped them. They sealed off the temple, changed their ways, and became what we are today. Jakku isn't just a prophecy, it's a reminder of what once was.
Why on Io didn't you tell us? This could have changed everything.
Because it's the law. Never, under any circumstances, must the chieftain or his kin reveal the whereabouts of the temple. Never. You just don't understand, General. Every custom we have, every tradition we honor, every law that I am bound to, I broke them all. I have broken with everything I once deemed holy to help you. My father forgave it all. But had I told you about the temple, well, I would have been an Aliani no longer. I am an Aliani no longer.
You hoped we would find the temple on our own?
Yes. That way, I would not have become a traitor.
Wait, the Aliani used to worship Sheogded? Why?
For a reason similar to that of the Hibernian prince. They were seeking its favor. I don't have to tell you how powerful Sheogded is. It can create new realities with a mere thought.
And that was what they wanted? A new reality?
One where the Aliani didn't just rule the steppes, but all of Northander. Thankfully, some of our people saw the implications of this and stopped the chieftains before it was too late. Do you understand now? This is why we have our ways. We vowed to never again let Sheogded enslave us with promises of power or to succumb to those sins. If Jakku were to happen again, we, by all that's sacred, would be observers, not perpetrators.
You haven't told us after all this time. Why now?
Because if the Crescent concludes that the temple is in the steppes, their next move will be to question my people. We must get there before they do. We must.
Shit.
You knew this whole time and didn't say anything? Blazes, Kaiawu, I trusted you!
I'm sorry. My people did wrong once. I'm trying to make sure we don't mess up again.
Where is the temple?
It's northwest of the village. Not far, but nowhere near the border with Lar, as Sir Merkel said. I can take you there.
Is that wise? The Dark Crescent might be waiting for us.
Very unlikely. If they only just stole Mercal's research, it will take them time to figure it out. We can move in and fortify our position at the village and temple. Then, when they appear, we strike.
And catch them red-handed, alongside the last corrupted. Smart.
General, you will go on ahead with the Wolf Guard. Secure the Aliani village first, then head to the temple. I will mobilize as many levies as I can, and then follow.
Why not destroy the temple? If there's no gate, then there's no way for Sir Evil God to enter, right?
For once, I agree with Catris. Without the gate, it won't matter how powerful the Horde of Souls is.
That would not work. The temple is only a physical structure, whereas the gate is part of the veil. It won't matter if there's a building or just a pile of rubble.
Kyawu, do you think your people would be willing to help us?
I don't know. I am a traitor now. And even if they would, they are not warriors.
I do not think we should involve the Aliani in this fight. It is enough if we protect them from the Crescent.
Thank you, Your Majesty. That means a lot to me. To us.
Okay, let's get to it.
You should. I want you to set out by the next morrow. In the meantime, prepare yourself and the Wolf Guard as well as you can. Everything depends on your success.
What do we have? General. So long. Tiara's light, General.
Kyawu? What's wrong?
Nothing.
Is this about what happened in Windholm?
I thought we were doing good. Arrakis and his people were hurting others. We had to stop them.
We did.
But we're not any better. Don't you see? I told myself everything we were doing was necessary to stop more violence. It's like the fire from that statue. Once it starts, it just keeps spreading and spreading. Malik would have killed everyone.
Malik wanted rapid change, no matter the cost. We only agreed to stop Arrakis.
But that's what I mean. We enabled more violence just as much as Arrakis did.
That's not true. We didn't know what Malik would do.
I don't think that mattered to the civilians caught between the rebels and Arrakis' lackeys.
So, you shouldn't have done anything?
I don't know.
Why does this only bother you now?
I mean, this isn't the first time I've thought about it. I guess Malik's actions opened my eyes. It's like seeing something new and knowing you can't unsee it. Not that I'd want to, but now I'm left not knowing what to think.
You're right, that sometimes there's a fine line between stopping atrocities and committing them. We shouldn't forget that.
So Arrakis, Iskrim, even Malik, were they always that way? Or did they mean well once?
I don't think anyone wakes up one day and decides to do wrong. It comes slowly. One thing after another.
What do you mean?
It's the small moments that stick with us. Like saving up coin. We tuck it away, deep inside our pockets day after day. By the time the purse is full, we don't even realize the weight we're carrying around. So maybe they did mean well once. Maybe they still do, in their own minds.
I joined believing I was saving the world, doing good. Every act of violence, every fight, it was all necessary. I told myself it was necessary.
Are you having doubts about what we're trying to do?
Not exactly. I know Shayok must be stopped, but that desire for self-preservation, isn't that in itself selfishness? Everything seems so much more complicated than I was taught to believe.
Good is defined by those who have the privilege to choose. Ask any tyrant in history if they meant to be evil. We're all trying to do good. You get to decide what doing good means to you, and what you'll do about it.
You've certainly given me a lot to think about. I think I want to be alone for a while. Can we talk again later? Ah, there you are. May we speak?
Sure, Kyawu. What's going on?
Do you mind if we go somewhere else? Somewhere more private?
Okay. I know of a spot. Let's go. Is here okay?
Yeah, sure. Listen, I've been thinking.
Uh-oh. Okay, lay it on me.
Very funny. I've been thinking about what you said before, and about us.
And?
I guess I'm confused. You seem to like Wraith a lot.
I like Katris too. I like a lot of people. What of it?
Come on, Erev. You know what I mean.
I do. But we're just friends.
Friends. Right. Good. So, I was wondering, do you still feel the same about me?
course I do. I meant everything I said.
So did I. Erev, I'm in love with you. I can't stop thinking about you. And I want to be with you, wherever it leads.
What made you change your mind?
After our last talk, I thought about everything. My people's ways, how I feel, what I've learned since being out here with you. And I realized it's like you said. It doesn't have to be one or the other. I know who I am. And I know that includes being with you.
Your laws haven't changed. What if your father finds out?
When this is over, I plan to explain it to him. I'll be the only one who's lived among outsiders and returned. Our laws are what we make them. We could be proof that things could be different. If my father can't see that, then so be it.
Then, let's see where things lead. One day at a time.
Of course. One day at a time. You're amazing, Arif.
What makes you say that?
You just are. Shall I walk with you back inside?
Yeah. Let's go.
It was an honor, General. You're a warrior most noble, a great friend, and an inspiration to me and all of my men. Now let's get out there and give those bastards hell.
Beg your pardon?
What? That was my goodbye speech. That's what people do before charging into the final battle, isn't it? How did I do?
Actually, I just came for a drink. I could use a distraction.
I never thought I'd hear myself say this, but I'm afraid I have to pass.
Now I'm worried. Why?
Oh, I don't know. I'm just not in the drinking mood. After the battle, maybe?
All right. I guess it can wait.
I'll see you on the battlefield, okay? My axe still needs sharpening.
Interesting.
Looking for potions and scrolls? I'm sure I have just what you need. Farewell.
Keep it up. Yes. What do we have here? Nothing new today.
Yes, yes, come closer. I'm sure I have just what you need. Pleasure doing business with you. Come again. I'm getting new wares by the next moon's turn. Fair offer.
Over here. What's this?
The Wolf Guard is ready to march. How about the rebels?
We're as ready as we can be. But you knew that already, didn't you? Why are you here then?
I just wanted to thank you for sticking around.
I appreciate it. Tell me, if I told you that all this fighting for the greater good, sticking up for something, is actually against my nature, what would you say?
I doubt it.
That means a lot to me. You see, Erev, the reason I stuck with the privateers and didn't come right back to Windhome back then was because part of me was afraid to. Being out there on the open sea, it made it easy to forget about all the shit Malik and I were put through. Every day there's just the wind in your face, the planks below your feet, the ropes in your calloused hands. I know it probably sounds like I'm romanticizing, but there was something unique to that freedom. Going back, it would have meant fighting. So, Malik was right. Part of me didn't want to lead the rebellion. Part of me didn't want this war. Part of me just wanted to forget about the Rera hailstone that grew up in the gutter.
Yet you did come back and you did fight. That's what matters.
Aye, right. You can speak and feel what you want. It's your actions that leave a footprint. Anyway, there's a lot to do. Let's get back to it.
Armors and shields. Everything from copper daggers to moon silver swords. Pleasure doing business
What do
with
we have here?
Come again. I'm getting new wares by the next moon's turn. You know how to bargain, don't you?
Interesting.
Look, Erev, I know you must be upset.
My feelings don't matter on this. I just want to know why you didn't tell me.
That temple is the greatest secret of the Aliani. Only the chieftain and his heirs know its location. It's a history that brings my people great shame. But more than that, revealing the temple's location to anyone is the only crime punishable by death.
Is there anything else you're not telling me?
No, this is it. I've risked everything to tell you this. What else could there be?
You tell me.
I swear to you, there is nothing else.
But I thought the Aliani don't condone executions.
We don't. It's the only law with such a punishment. Either the chieftain or one of the wise women must carry out the sentence, and then they themselves are made exile.
Fittingly severe.
As it must be.
If we had this information sooner, we could have...
We could have what? The Horde of Souls, the corrupted, they all still exist. This knowledge wouldn't have changed that.
No, but we could have secured the temple by now.
Well, forgive me if I was hoping not to break all my people's laws.
As much as I wish you had told me sooner. I get it. You didn't do this lightly.
Thank you for understanding. I want you to know, I'd rather die by my father's hand than let Shayogdet devour Io and know there was more I could have done. I'm sorry if it's taken me so long to realize that. I never meant to hurt you. Tell me something. Do you really think this plan will work? Luring the Dark Crescent to us?
I do. This is our best shot and we'll make it count.
I guess you're right. Well, if there's one thing I'm sure of, it's that you're a great leader. You know how to get people to follow you, to believe in a cause that would otherwise seem impossible. You throw yourself against the wind where others would take shelter. You can do this, and wherever this path leads, I'll be right there with you. If you'll let me.
What will you do after this is over?
I could never leave your side so long as you want me with you. But I would want to tell my father, to show him that our outlook towards outsiders doesn't have to be so fatalistic. There's so much more to the world than just violence and suffering. There has to be a better balance.
And if your father doesn't see it that way?
Then I will have at least tried. Until then, though, I'm all yours.
Then let's get to it. Shayogdet won't stop itself from feasting on Io.
Right. Just say the word, and I'll be there.
General.
I'll be going. We'll speak later.
Sure.
Hey, need something?
Would you like to spend some time together?
I'd love to. But I don't think now is the best time, do you? You've got a mission to prepare for. But hey, how's this? Once all this mess is taken care of, we make a run for it. Just a fortnight, then we'll come back.
Where to?
Into the blue. Just the two of us. That is, if the world still exists by then.
We'll make sure of that. I'll see you around, and, stay safe.
You too.
Ooh, let me at him. Oh, hello again.
I'd like something crafted.
I know of just the thing. Here's the list.
I'll be going.
Aye. Be seeing you.
welcome back. Did you find any moon silver artifacts?
Here's what I found.
Ah, wonderful. Thank you so much, Surfacer. Compensation, as agreed. The Society would also like you to have this, as a token of our appreciation. You are a true patron of history. Let me know if you find anything else on your travels.
This way.
I'm here.
Yes?
Huh. Interesting.
Good to see you again, General.
I'll be going.
Farewell.
Try to keep up. Really?
Out of the way.
Well, look who's back. What do you have for me?
Nothing. I'll be going.
Are you sure? Blessings of the Exalted Father, then.
Are you sure?
Sure.
That way? Sure. Sounds like a plan.
Lead on then.
That's a big serving of death coming right up. Right.
That way?
Ooh, great minds think alike.
Consider it done.
You bastards are bloody awful at this, you know that?
Not yet.
Uh-huh. Got it. Get ready.
Make it good.
Take them out! What is it? I'm listening. Attack!
Need something?
Yes, I'm on it.
Oh, hello again.
Here's what you asked for.
Aye. That'll do the trick. Is it tight? My best work can't be rushed. Here we are. Use it well.
I'll be going.
Aye. Be seeing you.
Let me see.
Welcome back. Did you find any moon silver artifacts?
I'll be going.
Nihalf give you luck on your search.